So now it's springtime. I'm supposed to go back to Ananda in the springtime. So now I got a real problem because I had to consider what do I want to do. I was with Paramahansa Yogananda for 3 years, initiated into Kriya Yoga and had lots of spiritual experiences. I liked those soft-spoken, mellow people up in the mountain. By the way, Beloved explained those soft-spoken, white-clothed, mellow people up the mountain. He said, underneath the white clothing and the beards and the long hair, whatever it might be, underneath the covering, are the same tendencies of everyone else. But you see, some people have found a way to not have to deal with their tendencies because the culture doesn't support them. The culture kind of suppresses these things, moves away from, doesn't engage tendencies, right? So you live a different lifestyle, which seems to be really happy and bright. But Beloved said, unless you actually feel your tendencies, understand them, and surrender them, they don't get released. And karmically you come back in another incarnation to fulfill those tendencies that you never thought you even had. So in this way, it's not about suppressing or avoiding, which is a real limitation in getting into large communities. So now I got to consider all these things I have with Yogananda. I've only been with Franklin Jones for a couple months. Now it's only April. Came in February. Yogananda had given many spiritual experiences, different perceptions of understanding, visions, lights, all sorts of wonderful things. Real stuff. And his teaching is stated, is confirmed in the Vedas and Upanishads and ancient traditions for thousands of years. And Franklin Jones is saying that what's wrong with spiritual experiences are that first, when you have the experience and it takes you out of the point of view that you might have been in, you always come back to the one that had the experience. You always come back to the same point of view that wanted to get out of, that those experiences took you away from. So he says, so you really don't get past that point of view. And then you want another spiritual experience to become a seeker for spiritual experiences. So he said that his teaching is not about fulfilling the ego with giving it experiences, but transcending the ego, the act of that one that you come back to. Transcending that one by attraction to his freedom and an understanding. And it has nothing to do with spiritual experiences at all. And so I said, okay, so I understand there's a contradiction there, and what do I want to do? And I basically said, I really love Franklin Jones. I have to be with him. So I came to him and I said, Franklin, I know there's a tradition that when you commit to be with a guru, the guru's going to violate you. He's going to bring up your disturbances so you can see what you have underneath there that has to be transcended and released, right? And if you're not committed, you're going to split. You're going to leave when that happens, and the guru wasn't able to help you. So I know that I'm committed to Yogananda, so I shouldn't leave him. But I love you. I want to be with you. And he said, that's fine. Well, what are you going to do with your stuff like your teepee up in the woods? So I said, well, I can go up there on Friday. I'll come back on Monday. He goes, oh, well, I was planning on opening the ashram to the world while you would be gone, and it'd be good for you to be there and you could help out, so I'll wait until you come back. Now, at the time, I thought, what a sweet gesture. Yeah? A relational quality. It's offer you a relationship, not a technique. But in growing in practice, you understand who he is. The divine avatar, or whoever you want to call him for the devotees that don't recognize him that fully. A being who is going to take on devotees, enlighten devotees, and have them move out to the world and transform mankind into a true recognition of real God. Not the creator God, but the God that's living everything right now. And he goes, I'll wait until you come back. So he did. I went up, got my tent, came back, and the ashram opened. I'm not sure. It opened on a Tuesday, which is the 25th of April. It could have been wanting to open it on the 23rd or the 24th, I'm not sure. Anyway, opened it 1 or 2 days later. I want to tell one more Leela. And then we'll take a little stretch break. And then when we come back from stretch break, we'll see a 13-minute video, which will explain a lot more about Adi Da and his teaching and how he fits into the tradition of enlightened beings. And then I'll begin to talk about, for another half an hour or something, what it was like when we recognized him and began to come to him with our submission, rather than him coming to us with his submission. So, October 1972. See, we're in May of 2016. I'm only in October of 72. We had a lot of Leelas to tell. Well, actually what happened is I wrote 150 Leelas in being in his company. They're just, so many things happened in his company. And I got with an editor to try to get this book going, and we reduced it down to 118. They are ready to be published. It's in a process. So at some point there will be a book that will come out with 100 more of these stories. And some of them are even better.